contact has been attempted but cannot be established. Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy.
As far as the eye can see, a plague on the surface, a disgusting swarm in the skies. With a crash of thunder, a new demon appears. Unfurling its rotten wings, it lets out a petrifying scream.
Hi, and welcome back to the Oceania 4K World Cup 2022. It is Sunday, it is morning in my country at least. It might not be the first match of the day for some of you, but it is for me technically. And wow, this is a winner's bracket match, Philippines versus South Korea. This is going to be pretty hype. South Korea has been a fantastic country historically, so gonna be very interesting. I will be commentating. I am Pâturage, and I will be joined by Potassium. How are you?
I'm so excited right now. As you said, this is a winner's bracket match. The first winner's bracket match that we've seen so far in this weekend. All of them have been losers bracket matches so far, but this one is going to be extremely exciting. Philippines and South Korea being seed number 2 and seed number 3. And of course, the winner of this match is going to guarantee podium. They're going to guarantee top 3 in the tournament to face off in the winners finals next week. So massive stakes here on the line, and two extremely strong teams. Looking at last week's performance from both of them, it's actually not very clear-cut which team is stronger overall.
Yeah, the thing is, as I said, South Korea is historically a very strong team, especially in the late game. And we are definitely in the late game right now. We are in the semifinals, guys. Philippines, however, has perhaps their best lineup so far in terms of MWC. Like their lineup is absolutely stacked, and they are actually going for favorite right now.
Yeah, Philippines this year in particular being a ridiculously strong roster, and they've proven it so far with some fantastic team scores across the board. This is an interesting ban phase right now. JENOVA, I guess, makes sense for South Korea. Maybe they're not fairly comfortable on that speed pick there, but Philippines actually banning Formidable Enemy. So more of the stamina pick being banned out by the Philippines, and they're going to pick Encryption, which I think makes a lot of sense. Philippines so far has been extraordinarily strong on the LN picks.
It's quite interesting to see those bans, as you say. JENOVA coming from South Korea might indicate a lack of physicality, while Formidable Enemy might indicate a lack of consistency coming from the Philippines. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't actually remember.
It could be. Both teams have been fairly consistent, though, from what I've seen. But as you said, this map pool we are now into more of the late game style. So at this point, maybe a couple of the players from both teams are starting to get less comfortable with reaching high accuracies on these maps. So we're going to see, interestingly enough as well, both SVs are up. Those are going to be massive wildcard picks. I don't think either team are going to be looking to pick the SV maps anytime soon, but maybe they'll pop up at the end.
Yeah, personally, I've been behind the scenes for the SV map pooling decisions and I guess background work, so to speak. And we are actually working on finals SVs as we speak. This is surely going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to see the results on SVs, if they actually get picked.
Here we go. This is Encryption. This is one of the hardest of the LN maps to try and get accuracy on, specifically in this first half. Some really difficult releases. And we've got Philippines, of course, Apol, Els, and Forken being the LN squad. Poker, Gay Soul, and Sudden Death for South Korea.
As we are going through this intro, which is already load-packed with releases and so on, we already see Sudden Death being a little bit behind in terms of accuracy, but there's still a whole 3 minutes and 42 seconds to catch up, and Sudden Death is already catching up, but tripping a little bit on some 200s. But they're not alone in catching 200s, at least.
Yeah, definitely not far behind the rest of the players right now. Everyone struggling a little bit to avoid the 200, understandably, given the nature of this section of the map here. Highest accuracy right now is actually Silweska Els, 99.67, followed by Apol, so that's giving Philippines a little bit of an edge. Sudden Death actually completely recovering in that accuracy. 99.56, now very comparable to Forken.
Yeah, it might be worth noting that Silveska Els might be one of the best LN players of the world, and look, she's at 99.70 only, which is relatively low compared to the other stages. So we are in semifinals, guys.
Oh yeah, if you've seen any of the matches from the losers bracket, you know just how difficult it is to reach an accuracy like 99.7 on this map. But that said, it's only a small accuracy lead for the Philippines right now. We still have an entire, like more than half the map left. 6 full combos on the board as well.
Yeah, I feel like if the Philippines actually break the combo, the lead might shift towards South Korea. That's how close the accuracies are.
Right now, this accuracy lead is slowly getting bigger. Apol on 99.7 as well. So Apol and Silveska Els both the 2 highest accuracies on the board. Forken managing to beat out Gaysol and Sudden Death, so very strong accuracy for the Philippines, but South Korea is not too far behind. And now we're in the second half.
Yeah, Poka is actually doing great work at catching up some accuracy, maybe trying to catch up to the 99.7.
Yeah, Poka actually now completely recovering. All of South Korea slowly regaining that accuracy, and now we're getting into second half, which gets a little bit denser.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be all up to the last quarter, and the last quarter is not the easiest at all. I feel like the last quarter might be the most difficult in the map.
Absolutely, especially when it comes to the combo as well. But so far, all 6 players holding the full combo. Small leads across the board, but Els Apol actually now raising the accuracy to 99.76. Poka managing to hit the 99.7, but Forken also raising towards 99.7.
Wow, this is an absolutely strong showing from both countries. You can see that both of these countries are respectively Seed 2 and Seed 3 in the standings.
Yeah, difference right now, really, like the lowest accuracy in the entire lobby is 99.6, which is kind of ridiculous on a map like this, with an FC as well. And it looks like all 6 players are just going to comfortably FC this. Okay, well, there's still a little bit left, but...
Yeah, this might be a confident pick from the Philippines. Like, this is a first pick, and Philippines picking long notes might indicate a confidence in their skill sets, but look at South Korea's team score. They're doing really well. Like, the lowest score is 987k. That's a score that some teams right now would be dreaming of.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at South Korea's team score, like, I think I'll have to go back and check after the match, but I think that team score might just beat almost every single team that we've seen so far play this. Like, that's an insanely good triple FC right there, but Philippines, 2 992k scores on a map like that. It was definitely a good first pick.
Yeah, getting single-digit 200s on a pick like Encryption, it's like a 3 minutes and 42 minutes long pick.
It shouldn't happen.
How? That shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That shouldn't usually happen.
Not only is it like 4 minutes long, but the releases in that map, they're just not hackable. I don't understand how people do it, but oh, hang on a second, this is interesting now. South Korea picking an LN themselves. I'm not exactly sure how this map is even supposed to be pronounced. I think someone once said Tembler.
Yeah, Tumblr. Oh, Tumblr. Like the website.
Yeah, okay, we can go with that one.
Tumblr.
But this one actually is an interesting pick from South Korea right after they lost the LN pick themselves. Obviously, this one being a very different LN pick. And they were quite close, all things considered, on Encryption. One miss could have done it on that map. And this one, definitely more chances on this map to find misses. More physically intense and faster.
Yeah, this is more on the physical side of things, so that might be the sort of long notes that South Korea is comfortable with. And as you can see, it's not a Rise versus LN matchup at all. and this might be very interesting in the dynamic of things.
Yeah, and South Korea definitely showed they were extremely strong at the physical hybrid style maps. We'll see if that transfers over here. Of course, Boji swapping in for the Philippines, one of their excellent late game members.
Yeah, it's kind of a reminder as to how versatile the Philippines team is. Like, usually most teams would have one single long node lineup, but here we have multiple long node lineups for different picks.
Ooh, right out the gates, very close between both teams here. Actually, the lowest accuracy, sudden death, 99.77. And I mean, as small of a lead that is, that's going to give Philippines a little bit of something at the intro here.
Yeah, it's only the intro, however, and there's a lot of density coming in the middle of the map.
Hawken drops accuracy a little bit down to 99. Oh wow, that's a big drop.
That's a catastrophic drop compared to the rest of the accuracies in the room and so far in the map. Like in the middle of the map, you don't drop that many accuracy.
And in any other match, I would say that would be perfectly fine, but right now, the level of this lobby is so ridiculously high that any small mistake is enough for South Korea to be able to capitalize on right now. Their lowest accuracy, 99.7, which is insane. And we're already in the last quarter of the map, it's very short.
Yeah, what's interesting to see, what is going to be interesting to see and compare at the end with the results is the accuracy department.
Yeah, everyone now dropping below 99.8, understandably. But as long as South Korea hold on to these combos, they should be fine in picking up their own point right back. And they're going to manage it here. Barely close. Without those misses from Forken, it's hard to say. It's a hard call to make whether it would have been enough or not.
Yeah, it's very hard to say. Like, Boji and Poka were not too far apart, actually, and Elzir.
Yeah, 200 counts very similar across both teams as well.
Yeah, if you put Boji and Els and Poka and Sudden Death together, it's basically kind of a one-on-one matchup with a slight advantage towards Philippines. And it would have gotten between Forken and Gaysol, basically.
Yeah, but thankfully for South Korea, they do manage to pick up their own win. Turned out to be a successful pick, and now it's Philippines. It looks like we're just cleaning up the LNs. We might just play 4 LNs in a row.
You know, there's a tournament coming up like real soon. It's called Oceania Long Node Tournament 3. Maybe they're warming up for that tournament.
Bit of practice in there for these players. But we're getting another switch for the Philippines. Apol's going to come back in. This one, still a density pick. Kind of similar to Tembla in that sense, but this one significantly slower. Well, a little bit slower, that is. And a little bit denser.
Yeah, 200 BPM is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, it's still fairly fast. This one also lasting that a little bit longer, 2 minutes 45 seconds. And interesting to see this being picked up. Both teams, I mean, it's hard to say it's a bad pick. I think Philippines could win this, but I also think South Korea could win it. It's kind of a 50-50 whether a team really misses.
Too wise for you, I wonder. Is that the player from the Netherlands?
Oh, true. Yeah, sounds awfully familiar there.
Anyways, let's go into the pick. Very, very density.
Oh, Apol with a very early. That was a real miss, I think.
Yeah, that's not playing at all.
That's a real miss from Els as well. That's 2 misses early on for Philippines.
Yeah, that's a really big disadvantage. Like, it might be early combo breaks, but in this kind of pick, if South Korea is feeling very consistent, and South Korea has been consistent throughout the whole match already, it might spell doom.
Yeah, but that said, they are early, so it's possible to make up the difference with just accuracy, but Apol is taking a significant amount of time to try and catch back up. 99.62 still behind everyone on South Korea, but Els has caught up so quickly, 99.8. Already better than two of the South Korean players, and Boji, of course, the top of the lobby. So I think if Apol manages to raise the accuracy up a little bit higher, it's possible for this lead to shrink as the match goes on.
Yeah, the thing is, I was thinking that Boji's score was actually insane, but Poka has the same score.
Both of those players are just so ridiculously good, both cancelling each other out in that regard. Els at this point, much better accuracy than both Gaesol and Sudden Death, and Apol now actually catching up with Gaesol's accuracy. So now all of this advantage for South Korea is completely in those misses at the start of the map. The accuracy lead is slowly turning towards the Philippines. Yeah, I see this lead.
The lead is slowly crawling back to the Philippines as I think Gaesol dropped some accuracy. And Sudden Death as well? Yeah, Gaesol's accuracy is trending downwards right now, and this means that the lead is actually coming closer to the Philippines, but the map is coming to its last quarter.
Yeah, that said, Boji did actually drop quite a lot of accuracy as well, a few 200s there, so Poka now having the advantage over Boji is going to keep this lead in South Korea's favor for just a little bit longer. They're going to still have to try and raise this accuracy as much as they can in this last section. It's close though. It's starting to flicker over. Any 200s now from South Korea could actually completely switch this lead. But Els finds a miss at the very end, and that's going to basically seal the deal. That last miss could not be afforded by the Philippines. And South Korea showing their consistency. This is 3 FCs for 3 maps in a row.
I mean, let's look at the accuracies. I'm pretty sure that the Philippines' accuracy was superior. Yeah, look at those ratios. The ratios were definitely better twofold, actually.
Poka, Tello,
And
Score
yeah,
V1 double S, 996k. That's an incredible score.
yeah, that's a score, Poka. Let's go. Let's go.
Wow, and that's going to be the first break point as well. South Korea looking strong on these, and I wonder if they do just pick up that last LN map left.
But yeah, the thing is, if the Philippines did not have this miss at the end, it would have been very close, like a couple of 100 points apart.
It's so hard to be able to call it. It looked like it was flickering towards the Philippines, but it's hard to tell if there was enough time left. But Philippines, they can't afford to be thinking back on what could have been. It's all about South Korea's pick now. Secret Sleuth is maybe... Well, it feels like a bit different to the LN maps that they've been winning.
Yeah,
so they're going to go with Party Starter, actually.
Yeah, I feel like Secret Sleuth is actually too close to encryption for South Korea to pick. So they're actually going to be exploring the hybrids, and we have been playing an anti-meta match so far. It's very interesting to see.
Yeah, and we'll think about the way that South Korea has been winning these maps so far. It's been off of misses from the Philippines, so why not pick a 4-minute long map where misses can happen at literally any point? If South Korea managed to win off of combo here, it's very possible for them to win this one.
Yeah, but remember encryption. Encryption was also the same length, like almost the same length. And the Philippines won that with great consistency, I may say.
Yeah, we are seeing Snow sent in actually for the first time this match as well for the Korean side. So we'll see how they perform on this one. Long map here. It's all going to be about this consistency. It's going to be about the accuracy as the map progresses.
Alright, going past the intro. Still the intro is fairly balanced, but there's still nothing really key in the map to decide the point yet.
Yeah, looks like a small lead flickering back and forth actually. Poka being the one to keep South Korea in it. 99.93%, but Boji actually just about tying that.
Yeah,
All
the
6
trend,
players.
the trend is not changing even with those bursts coming into play.
And no major accuracy drops. Silaska Els actually drops a bit of accuracy down to 99.71. That's going to put South Korea in a little bit of a lead so far. Boji and Poker both tying each other. Sudden Death and 4Ken both very similar in accuracy.
Yeah, it's basically South Korea's game now. It's just a game of keeping your accuracy on an upwards trend.
We're about a third of the way into the map here right now. Ooh, everyone hitting those ones.
Yeah,
it's going to be
bursts,
South Korea maintaining lead.
The bursts are incredibly chokeable, but so far no one has choked them at all.
Yeah, extremely unforgiving if you do but choke on those ones as well because of the accuracy drop that's sure to come. Oh, and Poker! Actually, the highest accuracy for South Korea, and that's going to be the miss. Down to 99.82. Now it's going to start flickering towards the Philippines. It should. And Snow Sen as well.
Oh, in a second miss from Poker. That seals the deal. That's going to be the second breakpoint in a row.
But it's only halfway through. We're only halfway through the map. It's so long.
Oh no, Sudden Death is also missing. And Poker is missing again. And the consistency from the South Korean side is actually starting to crumble.
This is the opposite of what we just saw on 2 Wires for You right here. 3 FCs still on the Philippines. Accuracies have dropped a little bit for Els and 4Ken still. Boji's still holding on to a high accuracy, but overall, these misses are just doing so much damage to South Korea's team score.
Yeah, it's all up to the Philippines to keep this 3-way full combo going.
Yeah, I think the accuracies are actually just about tied between the two teams, but that's like 4 or 5 misses across South Korean side versus 0 on Philippines. That's... Philippines now, they're just going to have to hold on. They can afford 1 or 2 misses.
Yeah, especially at this point in the map.
And Els does actually find a miss. That's a pretty significant accuracy drop. That's going to do a lot to the score difference right here. But it shouldn't be enough for South Korea, I don't think. As we're approaching the end of the map now. There's not too much left. That's another drop from Els.
It's getting into rescue territory right now.
Yeah, it's getting quite close right now, actually. And at the very end of the map, Els misses again. Actually, the score lead flickers. Els running out of stamina at the end on the rise sections. That's going to give South Korea the point, stealing it back at the very end despite the 2 full combos from Philippines.
No, that's heartbreaking.
That's so close there.
That's absolutely heartbreaking. All the misses were concentrated in the end. Look at that combo.
Yeah, these combos for Philippines all so much higher than South Korea because of the places that they missed there. But just really unfortunate to be able to lose footing at the end of the map. Just barely winning. South Korea managing to take their own point, and they're going to build up a lead 3-1 now, and Philippines get their next pick.
But yeah, look at the accuracy from the South Korean side. Like, they all had single-digit 200s. The fact of the matter is, even if you're down several misses, you're still gonna keep going on. You're still gonna be playing your pick as best as possible. There's always a comeback that is possible, especially at this point of the tournament. Semifinals is no joke.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Philippines, what do they pick? I mean, there's Secret Sleuth left. It's hard to say that's a bad pick, but the rest of the pool feels so unexplored right now. Like, we have no idea how the Rice is going to go between these two teams. And the SV, well, they're not going to pick SV.
The SV is the most unpredictable part of the map. I feel like Rice, South Korea, and Philippines are kind of stuck in a limbo of not having enough physicality and consistency, respectively.
Oh my god.
To decide.
It's going to be Zenithalize. It's going to be the Jack pick. This is a huge risk from Philippines, but that said, think back to last week, Justify My Love. I think Philippines got one of the highest team scores out of any team.
Yeah, I think they're betting on their own Jack players. Like, Bochi, Vopsi, and Falcon looks like a very strong lineup, but what can South Korea do to answer his call?
Yes, it's an interesting pick. Last week, Philippines' second best team, only behind Brazil, with 2.995 million team score. But the issue with this is that South Korea didn't play Justify My Love. We actually have no information as to how good South Korea are on these jacks.
God, I feel like this is going to be as volatile as an SV pick in terms of outcome. I have no idea how it's going to go.
And this one's really difficult as well. We are going to see some misses if there's any kind of discomfort in this BPM.
Yeah, the thing is with court jack picks, it's either you handle the pick like a champ or you completely fall apart. It's like at some point, at some arbitrary BPM, you go from 99.9 to 99.0.
Or even 98.0. Very possible at this kind of speed. But if Philippines pick it, they are going to be confident, you have to imagine. And right now we can see, oh my god, Lianic actually getting the first miss. That's going to be a big lead now for Philippines, at least early on in this match. And oh my, look at this, 99.93 is the lowest accuracy on the Philippines.
Yeah, I feel like they went for this pick in confidence.
But Poker and Snow Scent right now are scary. Those accuracies, 99.99, 99.96. Philippines can't afford any kind of mistake, even though they're in the lead right now. Lianic actually finds a second miss, just as I say that.
Yeah, Lianic is still doing decent in terms of accuracy, but these combo breaks are actually setting a pretty substantial lead for the Philippines. But we saw that lead go away in Party Starter.
What is this team score right now for the Philippines? Volpsi, 99.98 is the highest in the lobby, but Boji and Poker both on 99.97, and it's crazy that the fifth lowest accuracy, or the second lowest accuracy I should say, is Forken right now on 99.93. Which in a semi-finals jack pick, right, is just ridiculous. Volpsi actually drops a 200, I think, in those bursts there. But so far, it's still Philippines in the lead.
Yeah. One of the Philippines players could have a huge accuracy drop. It's always possible in a court jack pick to lose a lot of accuracy if you just call him lock or something.
Yeah, definitely the potential here, but we're at the end of the map. Even if there's a miss now, there might not be enough time left in the map. And at these last pans, it looks like everyone's going to hit them. What? Lianic freezing a little bit, but that shouldn't matter because this is a 2992 from Philippines.
What a performance!
200. 200 from the entire team. That is it. 46 300s for Boji.
I feel like Poka might have gotten offset in the later half. Like Poka was definitely going ham in the first half, but 120 seems a little bit high for what Poka was doing in the first half.
Yeah, I think it was due to those bursts towards the start of that second half. They can definitely throw off your ratio. Very, very difficult to ratio there, but overall, that was such a strong performance from the Philippines, and that's definitely what they needed to get themselves back in this match. 2-3, it's only 1 point of difference.
Yeah, so the departure of Lianic is not going to change the outcome of the points. The Philippines still are going to get their point for Zenithalize, and South Korea is going to have another occasion to get a point from any other pick.
Yeah, and I wonder what South Korea picked now. I think hybrids it's hard to say that Party Starter was a good pick for South Korea because that was very, very nearly a definitive loss for them. But it looks like they are going to continue with the hybrids.
That's going to be the good and hybrid. The ultimate tool.
Yeah, this one being a little bit more fast, that is, a little bit physical here, 241 BPM, and a fairly long one as well, not quite as long as the first hybrid we saw just before.
I feel like going from what happened in Party Starter, the Philippines could definitely have a chance at getting a breakpoint on this, but it all depends on stamina and consistency from the whole team. In my opinion, I feel like the Philippines have had the accuracy advantage in those types of picks so far, but it all comes to combo.
I feel like Philippines have had a slight accuracy advantage in almost every map so far, but it's been so tiny that it's hard to really call it definitive. And as we're waiting for whatever this is, okay, here we go. We'll just have to wait for the accuracies to not be balked. I don't think Els is on 71%.
Yeah, this is either client or an abort waiting to happen.
So far, the other 5 players right now all holding very strong.
Come on.
I'm starting to get concerned.
Me too.
I'm starting to get slightly concerned. Right now, it looks like... Well, the other 5 players are fairly tied. It's just we're not sure right now what the situation with Els is. That might have actually been a real miss, or a real... Not just a single miss. That must have been an entire not being ready at the start of the map, or a tab out or something like that.
Yeah, like a false start of some sort, but yeah, I feel like if this really was a client glitch, that might be the longest client glitch I've ever seen.
Usually it's fixed by now. We'll have to wait and see. But the other 5 players, it is actually looking like Boji and Poker fairly similar. 4Ken and Snow Scent also fairly similar in accuracy. It would basically come down to a 1v1 Els and sudden death. It's hard to really say. This map would be fairly close, but I think Els definitely did get a few misses in there, regardless of whether the start was client or not. It's an unfortunate situation that because of if that start was real, then it's going to take something catastrophic for South Korea to be able to drop this one.
Yeah, I'm just so confused at the situation, but yeah, the rest of the lobby is actually doing fantastic right now.
Sudden Death actually finding a miss there at the very end. That's going to be the first miss from the other 5 players that we've seen so far. Well, the first one that's definitely a real miss, I'll say that.
Yeah, it doesn't give us enough information about the lead. It's just kind of a scuff situation where we have to do it, to kind of judge it by ear.
Yeah, and we'll see now.
That's a real miss.
Yeah, L's managing to get the S at the end, but it is going to be South Korea's point, I believe. If I just wait for the MP link to show. Yeah, it looks like it was
real.
Yeah, 133 misses at the start. There was something going on at the start there that was just unfortunate. Probably some kind of hardware issue or tab, Windows key. Things happen all the time like this, but very unfortunate that it happens here. I guess on the plus side for Philippines, this was South Korea's pick. So it's not the end of the world. It wasn't a break point. And Philippines can just wait to see if they can win a break point from South Korea later on in the match. But looking at these scores, oh, this is a double S from Snowset, by the way. Just shout out to Snowset. But Boji and 4Ken Poker and Snowset all had fairly similar scores. So it would have been a very, Osu got alt tabbed. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, you have to remember that you can actually kind of try to signal to your referee that something's going on. In the first 30 seconds, that's the rule.
Oh my god, cranking. We're cranking now.
Oh, we're going cranking. Is that going to be a Philippines bias?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Philippines map, right? So
Yeah,
Philippines have the mapper advantage. Maybe not on the team, but in spirit. It's going to be an interesting one. Philippines definitely a very strong SV team from what we've seen in the past, but South Korea have also been quite scary on the SV themselves. And on a map like Kranken, this is definitely harder than any other SV map that we've had so far. Both of the SVs this round are way harder than any SV in the past. So past information between these two teams is not going to be very reliable in determining how well they perform on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the jump from quarterfinals to semifinals, we know, is very substantial. And yeah, this will be very interesting to see as a kind of a wild card pick.
Well, but the one thing that we do know is the Mystery L is pretty damn good at SV.
Oh, that's for sure. And that's gonna let some players like Hulk and rest a little bit. And it seems that South Korea's lineup is kind of similar to one of their long range lineups, or Rice lineups?
Yeah, I mean, Gaysol has been playing some of the long notes. Lyanic was playing Zenith Allies, so a bit of a mix of both. Of course, Poker being the mainstay here in the South Korean team. But not every day that you see very similar teams for SV and other maps. And here we go. This start is very difficult. I mean, the entire map is difficult, as you can pretty clearly see. But everyone actually holding very high accuracies. 99.5 is the lowest right now. Poker drops down a little bit though.
Yeah, this beginning is very disorientating, and it is very disorientating for South Korea's accuracy, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what Mystery L is doing right now. 99.91, playing this as if there was no SV at all in this map. But so far it's an accuracy lead for the Philippines, but everyone on South Korea is holding well above 99%, so it's not a very big difference, all things considered so far, especially when there's so many different SV tricks up ahead.
Yeah, I'm scared of what's gonna happen in the main drop. How is the LNSV gonna go?
These releases are really weird to time, and we get, a few 200s here, Lyanic, but Els finds a miss. It's a fairly clean miss, only down to 99.4, so the accuracy lead is still well in Philippines' favor, but the question is that enough? With a map with so few notes as this, Lyanic and Gaysol both dropping in accuracy, but Poker has fully recovered 99.65 now.
Yeah,
it looks like it's not enough though. This lead is still staying in Philippines' favor despite the miss.
Yeah, the accuracy from the Philippines side is enough to carry them ahead of the South Korean team.
The Mystery L is just cracked. What is this? 99.88? And here we go. This is the last kind of section here. These are very difficult to read, especially these LNs.
Yeah,
but
you have to read
Els,
higher. It's kind of like a fast jam.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, these LNs, very easy to lose accuracy on. But right now, it's still a definitive lead for the Philippines, and Els is well and truly in the 400 combo mark. So despite looking like a three-way FC from South Korea, all with 99% just about, it is going to be a win for the Philippines here. With
What is
some
this score
monstrous
from Mystery L?
That's not allowed.
No.
That's a 996k just about. Score V1SS, 1-200 from Boji. And I mean, like, Els and Poker as well, 3 200s each. just with the 250s slider breaks on those sliders for L's. Oh yeah, well that's definitely a pick for the Philippines right there. That's gonna be 3 to 4 now.
Yeah, that's gonna be encouraging them to go towards the direction of Shower Beer, the other SV pick. If they're feeling that much confidence in terms of SV compared to South Korea, then this should be the plan going forward.
It does open up Shower Beer as a possibility here, but the scary thing is with Shower Beer, with the SVs, is that you kind of look over at South Korea and say, okay, yeah, well, Philippines won, but South Korea got a 3-way full combo with 99%. That does not leave much room for error for the Philippines.
And the thing is, South Korea could have put Shower Beer in priority in training and kind of let Cranking as a secondary option that they could just lose.
Very well could be. I do know a lot of players actually do find Shower Beer quite a lot harder as well, so it really does depend on the individual players on the Philippines specifically if they want to decide to pick it, if they feel comfortable with that kind of SV. But for now, South Korea's pick, of course, they're going to continue picking out all the hybrids here. It's going to be the T-Deck one. I can't remember the name and I can't read it.
I think it's Revelation. We should call it Revelation.
Revelation? Yeah, there it is. That's such a long title. What? The artist and the title just goes off the screen right there.
Yeah, it's actually hell. But yeah, we still have no major information about technical Rise or jump stream Rise. And I'm scared to see such picks come into play here. The score is very close, like the overall score is very close. It's 4-3 right now for the South Korean side.
That said, South Korea are 1 breakpoint up. They have won the only breakpoint so far in the match, so Philippines are looking for a breakpoint back at some point. And this could be the opportunity here. It's a hybrid pick. Philippines have been fairly close on one of the hybrids at the very least.
Yeah, Patistata was really interesting to watch because, as we said before, the Philippines theoretically have the accuracy advantage, but in terms of consistency, anything goes here, really, in this match.
These are some high accuracies right out the gates here. Both teams fairly similar overall. Forken with 99.85 is somehow the lowest. And Poker right now is keeping it in the lead for the South Korea just temporarily on 99.92. But here we go, this is the Rice section here. Everyone finding it comfortable so far at least.
Yeah, everyone...
Silesk Els drops a little bit in accuracy, but not too much.
Everyone just have their machine guns ready at on. Then getting those small releases, Els kind of a tiny bit behind in terms of accuracy, so that gives the lead to South Korea.
It's not going to be far behind Gaysol though. Poker right now actually being the top of the lobby, that's also helping out South Korea's accuracy quite a lot. There's still half the map left. And a couple of 200s I think would probably be enough to start swinging this lead over to the other way.
Yeah, Gaysol is actually going downwards below 99.8, which might indicate a sign of vulnerability.
Ooh, but Boji finding a miss for Team Philippines. That's going to give quite a large lead now for South Korea. It's going to take at least 2 misses for the Philippines to come back from this, but it is so late in the map right now. Even if there are a couple misses from the South Korea, it might be too late. And yeah, here we are at the outro. Yep, there's just no chance.
Yeah, there's basically nothing in this outro, by the way. Just a trill. Funny trill.
Oh, funny trill? Do we get... No, nothing. No misses.
Oh, it's such a clean miss from Boji as well.
Wait, look at this. South Korea. Triple Score V1 double S.
Oh, wait, does that still happen in semifinals?
There are 4... There were almost 4. There were almost 5. There were almost 6 double S's here.
Yeah, apparently this pick is easy. That's just how it goes.
The accuracy pick. South Korea is showing so much consistency. And, oh, here we go. Shower Beer instantly. Philippines say, well, Kranken worked out even though there was a miss, it still was a comfortable win for the Philippines on Kranken, so shower beer right away.
Wait, do they have a different lineup?
It does look like it. Volpsy.
Lineup?
Volpsy coming in here instead of Boji, who played Kranken before.
Oh, that's incredibly interesting. Like, the dedicated SV players from the Philippines, like Els and Mystriel, are really strong SV leads, actually. Trained both maps, and the rest of the players actually spread one SV each, which is actually interesting in terms of training strategy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Either it was a training strategy, or the truly scary thing would be if they all actually practice the SV and they're all just so good that the smallest of differences mean that they swap out a player.
Got it.
We'll have to see. This is a very difficult one, especially to try and get accuracy on. And one mistake in some of these sections can completely end your score.
Just waiting for Dianic. Okay, how is the accuracy gonna be in the slow jams? It's gonna be very volatile in this intro.
Yeah, very easy here. We've got a little bit of a trill coming up. Yeah, a few 200s being dropped so far. Philippines faring quite well in the intro slow jams. It's mostly just Lionic and Gay Soul struggling a little bit in the accuracy, but it shouldn't take too long to be able to catch up.
Yeah, watch out for those ghost taps in in between those chords.
Those LNs for Lionic. So many 200s on those, down to 97%. Volpsy actually dropping down to 98.7 as well, but overall Philippines still holding the advantage.
This might come down to combo as well, because it's very easy to just lose focus and completely bomb the section.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Mystriel is doing Mystriel things right now. 99.92, just towering over the lobby right now. Lionic is actually catching up very quickly. 98.5% already catching up to Volpsy.
Yeah, it's actually fairly comparable compared to Kranken, so this might be a riskier pick for the Philippines here.
Yeah, accuracy is... Oh, that's a rough miss from Lionic on those stairs there. Volpsy actually trades it out though, so...
Oh, what?
Volpsy missing twice, but Lionic also following up with another miss. These are trades though. This suits Philippines just fine, I think. The score lead shouldn't change too much at the end of the day, and overall it's still an accuracy lead for the Philippines. Volpsy is still beating out Lionic in terms of the accuracy, and of course Mystriel crushing the rest of the lobby. Els has dropped down below 99%, but it shouldn't be too much of a big deal considering it's not too far behind Poker and Gay Soul.
Okay, this section right here might be very volatile for either one of the players.
Is it going to come down to the trill?
Oh, yeah,
Is it actually going to come down to the trill? Or they all hit it. They all hit it. And that's it. Slow outro here. It's 11,000 points the lead. I don't think there's enough notes here for Philippines to possibly mess up on.
Yeah, I think it's far too late in the game to actually get it back.
There is a wacko release at the end that I can't get a 300 on, but loss in accuracy is not going to be enough right now, and it's going to be another Watt score from Mystriel. That another score V1SS. How does he do it? I actually don't know. I actually don't know how that can even happen. That's just Gay Soul as well with only 8 200s is crazy, but 994. That's almost a 995k as well.
Jeez, comparatively speaking, between Shower Beer and Kranken, this was actually fairly close as far as SV showdowns go.
Yeah, it was fairly close. All of that difference was basically between Volpsy and Lionic. Volpsy just managing to keep the accuracy higher at the end of the day, missing I think one less time as well. And that's where pretty much all of that difference came from. But at the end of the day, it is Philippines winning both of the ASV maps. They managed to win their own pick, so now it's back to South Korea. And now South Korea have the big choice. They've picked all 3 hybrids in a row. They've picked they picked one of the LN density maps, that is. Do they go for a rice now? There's only one map that's not a rice map in the entire pool. They've just picked out all of the hybrids, all the LNs, all the SVs.
I mean, we are gonna play a rice at some point. There's at least 2 picks remaining for the match to be over. So we are definitely gonna be seeing either technical or... oh, okay. We're gonna be seeing Delirium.
Yeah, Delirium it is. Okay, we're going to be seeing a technical map for the first time. We actually haven't really seen much at all this round from either of these teams. The only rice map being played, of course, was as far away as you could possibly get to a pick like this.
Yeah, I feel like South Korea is avoiding Secret Sleuth because they actually convincingly lost Encryption. I feel like that's the main reason why they're not going for it. Secret Sleuth is also less physical than the other picks, so the Philippines will get the advantage on paper at least.
Not very good to rely on a combo choke on Secret Sleuth, and Philippines definitely very strong on that one. So this one makes sense, but we'll see how it goes exactly, because it's a bit of an unknown. Oh, Poker. Very early miss from Poker there. That's going to give Philippines a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, remember, this is South Korea's pick. If South Korea gets doesn't get the point on this, it's all back to the status quo. The South Korean
but
team will
Volpsy.
lose.
Volpsy and Boji finding a miss. That's going to go over to South Korea now. They have a little bit of an accuracy lead. Poker and Volpsy both tied in terms of that accuracy. But Volpsy finds another miss.
The physical advantage might not be towards the Philippines, but maybe it's because of the jacks in particular.
Yeah, very hard to maintain combo through a lot of these patterns. But Poker actually finding another miss, very uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, Poker has been a monster this entire map.
Gasol as well. This is actually going to start to swing a little bit back. There's a few misses for either side now. Forken and Snowscent, the only 2 full combos, but Snowscent is the one that's holding 99.88, the best in the lobby right now, but it's flickering back and forth. Gasol still not hit that combo cap. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to slightly go over to the Philippines.
If you sum up the combo breaks and the accuracies, both teams are tied actually, so it all comes down to whoever catches up in terms of accuracy the best.
Oh, it's so close, but Snowscent actually drops down in accuracy to 99.82. And that gives a little bit of a lead over to the Philippines. We're at the end of the map now. They just need to hold on to this combo.
Oh my god.
And Boji, despite the miss, has the highest accuracy in the entire lobby.
We're touching the end of the map. There's not much left.
Oh, that's going to be a break point just barely for the Philippines. Somehow, the entire team managing to combo the entire second half.
Wow, nice Boji.
And Boji! Oh, that was 94 300s. If it wasn't for that one miss, that would have been such a ridiculously insane score.
Like, granted, you look at Snowscent's score, you're already asking yourself, how do people 994, like almost 995 this in semifinals? And yeah.
Yeah, 3 of these scores are so close, 1 note away from the double S. But 2 of them being on the Philippines, that's what gave them the advantage there. So now, break point for the Philippines. They are tied up, but I think actually this is in Philippines' favor now, because look at the maps that are remaining. We've got Secret Sleuth, which is going to be straight away picked by the Philippines, and 3 rice maps. So we are guaranteed to play 2 more maps. This is kind of mean from the Philippines. South Korea is now going to get forced to pick one of the 3 rice maps at the end of the day.
It's just going to be quite an interesting turn of events. There are 2 points for each team to get to the victory. And don't know what's gonna happen on the rise. So this is the Philippines' last pick, I believe. And afterwards gonna be South Korea's last pick. And I feel like South Korea's last pick is gonna be extremely decisive.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes with this one. This is, of course, the last possible pick for the Philippines. We've got teams going all the way back to map number 1 of this match. These are the exact same 2 squads. Back in encryption.
Man. Yep, it's as if the match hasn't even started, and we are in a best of 3.
And here we go, another one of these really release-heavy LN maps. And we'll see if the accuracy is going to do it for the Philippines in this one like they're hoping.
Yeah, let's see the accuracy, because South Korea's lens is nothing to sleep on.
Yeah, and it actually flickers back and forth. Sudden Death and Els both lagging behind a little bit, but they're cancelling each other out, really. It's mostly right now A-Pole, 99.9 somehow. 800 notes into the map.
Yeah, I tend to forget that Apple is actually their sniper, so to speak.
And that's all of this lead. The entire lead currently coming from Apple. But it's not much.
That's absolutely nothing. Look at the lead. It's absolutely minuscule. It's absolutely non-existent.
Yeah, Boji and Poker both holding similar accuracies themselves. Els currently is kind of cancelling out Gaysol as well.
Oh dear. It's just a test of focus right now, like consistency on accuracy, which is completely different from consistency on combo, which you still have to maintain if you want to keep the lead.
Yeah, this takes so much focus. This is a long map as well, 3.5 minutes long. So keeping this focus to try and sharpshoot accuracy like this is insane. And right now this lead, it's not growing, it's not shrinking, it's just kind of staying this tiny 1,000 or so point lead.
Which it drops a tiny bit of accuracy, which gives a little bit of breathing room, but Gaysol!
That's the first miss. 5 full combos still on the board. Philippines now have a little bit of breathing room. Still half the map left though. Still so much that could possibly happen.
Yeah, the Philippines right now have a fair amount of breathing room. They both have the lead in terms of accuracy and combo, especially if Gaysol is going to be missing again. So that is going to be extremely good for the Philippines. They're in a really good situation right now, but the map is not over.
How did Apol keep that accuracy through that section? 99.87, still same accuracy as they had from the very start of the map.
Yeah, this is extremely hard to get accuracy on. Like, this is 37.7, which is higher than average.
Right now, this is just such a strong team performance from the Philippines. South Korea hoping that there's a miss if they want to be able to take this point back. But we're at the end of the map, and it's still this 2-miss advantage for the Philippines, as well as this accuracy lead.
Yeah, Poca still maintaining the same accuracy as they had from the beginning, actually.
That was an early leave right there. That happens when a player leaves immediately, but that's a score V1SS from Apol. What?
Whoa! How do you V1SS this?
Yeah, that's it. That's insane. There's nothing else to really say. And this team score from Philippines as well, like 11 200s combined for all 3 players on the Philippines. It's like the same number of 200s that Sudden Death got by himself, and even then, Sudden Death 990k is extremely good.
I love looking at the chat, seeing Apple say sorry was drinking, proceeds to get a V1SS on Secret Sleuth. Just casually.
Sorry was drinking. Okay.
Yeah, sorry was drinking, just casually. That whoop. V1SS.
And now this is it. Philippines now, they are for the first time in a while, in a very long while in this match, Philippines are ahead and they have match point. They are one map away from winning and proceeding to top 3 in the tournament. South Korea, though, they get one pick left and they have to win this point if they want to force a tiebreaker out of the Philippines. But it's going to have to be on one of these 3 rice maps that you see in the middle column there. And it's going to be tough beating Philippines on any of those.
I feel like going from what happened on Delirium, I think like Tuga might be South Korea's choice. It's like the most consistent. And South Korea, at least on the rice and physical department, have been doing well. Not necessarily better on every single pick, but perhaps they might wager their last chance on this. And I have no idea how the tiebreaker is gonna go. Both teams are actually balanced on the tiebreaker, I feel like, but
They're going to pick FBs.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say the F word on stream, unfortunately, but we are allowed to display it, at least.
Apparently so. You can read what the song name is called here, but it's going to be the pick for South Korea. This is another technical map. Fairly technical, but has a lot of that jump stream element as well. We saw Delirium was actually quite close for a lot of the time, so we'll see if South Korea trying to win on these miscounts coming out from Philippines potentially.
But yeah, this is gonna be very intriguing, because this is also maybe slightly less mini jack oriented than Delirium, so South Korea might have a better time on it. Especially if I think did Gaysol play on Delirium? I don't remember.
This is just gonna be wondrous, I can tell.
Yes, it was Gaysol. Gaysol, Poker, and Snowscent were the players for Delirium. Now it's going to be Sudden Death in for a rice map here.
Yeah.
And we'll see starting it out, all players. It's going to be Forken actually finding a little bit of a drop down to 99.6, so that's going to give South Korea a small advantage. Right now, Poker and Snowscent, along with Volpsy and Boji actually as well.
Yeah, the map has barely started, and it's one of those maps which is 3 minutes and 20 seconds long, so you saw what happened on some of those longer picks. What could happen at the end, especially.
Yeah, especially when the density picks up at the end of this map, but for now, all players holding on, full combos for all 6. It's going to be a small accuracy advantage over to South Korea because of these two 99.95 scores. One of them being cancelled out by Boji, but Volpsy is just, I mean, I don't want to say Volpsy is behind. That's a 99.88.
Yeah, it's barely nothing behind, but it still matters in the grand scheme of things because South Korea is actually destroying this.
Both teams are looking comfortable so far, but all 2 misses, Volpsy and Sudden Death. But that's going to be a big accuracy drop for Sudden Death. Volpsy managing to contain that to just a little bit of an accuracy drop.
That was, like, comparatively speaking, like, this is a trade for sure, and Sudden Death still has good occasions to catch that accuracy back up, especially if Forken is a little bit behind it compared to Snowscent and Poker.
It looks like the Philippines has a small lead now, but it's so tiny. Sudden Death is actually having a little bit of difficulties catching up in the accuracy. Still at 99.6.
Yeah, I think it's up to Volpsy and Forken to keep that accuracy. And let's go for the long jacks! Oh my god.
Oh, they make me so nervous. They make me so nervous watching these. But here we go. A little bit of a rest.
Yeah, it's kind of the meme pause, like it's the elevator music before you go into war.
And this last section is brutal. Forken finding a miss. That's a disconnect!
What?
Oh, is that a disconnect? Oh, that would be tragic.
No, that's way too far in the map to actually restart it. So that's actually gonna be the most heartbreaking tiebreaker for the Philippines, actually. What?
We'll see what happens for the rest of the players. Actually, Forken, Sudden Death, and Snowset all miss at the end.
Yeah, the ending is so dense compared to the rest of the match. It's very backloaded.
Oh, but so unfortunate for Philippines, unless Volpsy is still playing somehow and manages to screenshot the result. This is going to be a win for South Korea on this pick, this last pick.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder.
Oh my god, Boji.
Like we can see that the lead from South Korea is 989k. So if the remaining player from the Philippines had more than 989k, it would have been the Philippines win.
989k? Well, Volpsy did have a miss.
Yeah, so it's very possible.
It would have been possible if Volpsy managed to full combo the rest of the map, that is.
Yeah, thing is, I think Volpsy had enough accuracy that a 989k could happen, but getting a 989k with a combo break is actually really hard. So I think
the accuracy was high enough for a 989, even with a miss. But if Volpsy found another miss at the end section, then it might not have been enough. It would have been close either way, but unfortunately, there's not much point in discussing what ifs here because it is going to be a tiebreaker. Despite how unfortunate that ended up happening, South Korea are going to take that point, so we are going to the very last map here. The be-all and end-all.
Yeah, regardless, I think we're definitely going into the tiebreaker pick. Even if we're asking for screenshots, if Phobes is actually able to provide it. So I believe we're gonna have a little bit of a timeout because I think it's basically the only time in the match people are gonna be able to use their timeout. Like remember in the rules you can actually use a timeout.
Okay, so Philippines claiming that Volpsy did actually finish the map. They found the screenshot, but it would not have been enough either way. Less than that 989,000 point that they needed. So, thankfully enough, Volpsy did finish the map, so it was going to be South Korea's win either way.
All fair game. It's a fair tiebreaker. It was meant to happen.
A real tiebreaker, completely legitimate tiebreaker now, has been confirmed. So now we are going into multi-genre SmackDown for the second time this weekend, and it is going to be a winner's bracket match now.
Wow, can you believe that? Like there's twice least matches in as quarterfinals, and we still get. I think we get more tiebreakers than in quarterfinals. I haven't counted actually.
Here we go. We've got all the big players, big names for either side playing in here.
Alright. Test. Gonna be testing those releases. And so far, every single player has passed the test. But yeah, this is gonna be 6 minutes and 35 seconds of intense physicality battle.
Yeah, this is a long one. It is going to be hard to keep up stamina for this long. But right now, actually, Forken being the first one to miss here. That's going to give South Korea a bit of a lead. That's a fair accuracy drop as well, down to 99.4. But we haven't really gotten into the real meat of the chart yet.
Yeah, this is a fairly bad sign from Forken, especially since South Korea tends to scale really well towards late game, and especially towards finals. And we're gonna have to, we're gonna see a little bit of this information leaking out for the upcoming finals.
Ooh, so far, South Korea holding this lead, actually. All players holding really well right now. It's a small one, 4,000 points, as you can see here is the lead.
Yeah, like Forcan could very well ace a section that the South Korean team could bomb on, and there are plenty of sections where that could happen.
Oh, let's go. So far, there's so many full combos still in this map.
Yeah, the focus is still very high among the players. We're only a third in, but there's still like 4 minutes to last.
Oh, this is insane. Boji right now, 99.87. That's the highest in the entire room. Snowcent, 99.79. Overall accuracy looks like it's very slightly in favor of South Korea with 1 miss advantage as well. But that just means that if South Korea misses once, I think this could flip right back to Philippines.
Yeah, the lead is actually getting smaller and smaller as Els and Forcan are actually catching back up in terms of accuracy, and the accuracy is actually going downwards for South Korea, looking dangerous.
They still do have those 3 full combos. That's really what's doing it for them right now. We're reaching kind of the halfway mark pretty soon now. And it's still such a tense game. Gatesul actually finding a miss now. Dropping actually down to 99.5.
The combo game is even for both of the teams, and it's coming down to accuracy right now. We just have to wait for Gatesul to catch back up to that 400 combo to compare.
I do think South Korea have the accuracy lead now. Silueska Els has dropped down a little bit, down to 99.56. Same place that Gatesul is, really.
Yeah, I think the accuracy in this Electro Swing section is going to be telling a lot of things.
Boji's dropped a little bit of accuracy down. Still the highest in the room, though, so that's helping out the Philippines quite a lot. And it's come down. This looks like 2,000 points of difference between the two teams.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, Forcan and Els are on par with Gatesul in terms of accuracy, but Poke and Snowcent are carrying South Korea right now.
Yeah, Boji is definitely matching Snowcent even better, actually, but Poker doesn't really have any counterpart that can compare right now, especially with Poker still on the full combo. And somehow there's 4 full combos still, this late into the map.
Yeah, I think it might come down to that Camellia section, so to speak.
It's going to come down to the last section. Oh, it's so tense.
And you gotta stay focused, even in the quiet section, because it has happened multiple times that players would just drop in the quietest sections, but here right now we're going into the burst. And Poker actually drops!
Oh my god, Poker, that was one of the highest accuracies for South Korea. Now it's going to start flicking towards the Philippines, but now we're in the LN section. Extremely dense and fast here, but Philippines, they're going to start to take a little bit of a lead. Poker finds another miss. The accuracy drop as well.
This is Philippines' recovery story.
What are they doing? How is there 5 full combos through that whole section?
Oh man.
How do 5 people combo that? There's still map to go though. They have to hold on.
The Philippines have 1 combo break, and it was at the beginning.
Oh my god, it's so tense. There's 1 section left.
Wait, Poker still has 99.6? Those are such clean misses, what?
Poker's accuracy is still the 3rd highest in the entire lobby, even with 2 misses. This accuracy lead, I think, is basically tied.
No.
There is no difference here.
No, it's just coming down to the 727 BPM section.
Oh, it is. It's coming down right now. Els finding a miss. But Poker!
Oh no! What? Wait,
3
why
misses.
does Poker miss up to 727?
3 misses right there. Gaysol and Forken both trading. That's not going to do much in terms of the score lead. It's staying in Philippines' favor for now.
The lead is balanced. The lead is
Oh,
balanced.
but it's so close. Forken finding another drop. That might be able to do it. Is there enough time though? It's slowly going over.
This is literally a battle of stamina. Oh no! Two misses at the same time!
Oh my god! Oh
Wait,
no!
wait, what is this league? What?
There is
No!
way.
You're gonna be kidding me! You're gonna be kidding me! I
200
did not
points.
just watch this! I did not just watch this!
295 points. There is no way that it comes down to this.
I did not just watch this happen! No!
That's it. South Korea are going to win. They are going to guarantee themselves top 3 podium.
Also, there are 0 full
God.
combos. We were going from 2 full combos from the Philippines side, like basically 3 if you don't count Forken's miss in the beginning, to absolute destruction in the end.
Every player, all 6 players got wiped on that last section. And it just barely favored South Korea at the end of the day. Oh my god, what a match that was.
I think, like, before the ending on one of the LNs, I was looking at the lead and it was looking like double-digit score. Like, I gotta replay the VOD to see what was the difference between the 2 players, but I think the last burst actually went towards South Korea just a little bit, but just not by much. It was still a few hundred points of difference. What was that tiebreaker? Oh my god.
That was crazy. South Korea, congratulations though, they're going to continue on. And of course, Philippines, they're still in it. They still have big chances left in especially after a performance like that, in the losers bracket. But they're going to have to fight a little bit more to be able to secure that top 3.
Ah, Jesus. So, I believe on the other side of the winners bracket, there's Brazil waiting.
Yeah, Brazil and Malaysia are going to be the other side of the winners bracket. As we can see now, Philippines being knocked down. They're going to face the winner of Japan versus China. And the other side is USA and UK. These lower brackets are scary. All of these teams are so strong right now.
What is oh my god, this losers bracket is looking really, really dangerous. And the countries that will make the finals are absolutely talented. Those are basically the best players in the world. And this is gonna be even more insane than this actually. Like, we saw the difficulty towards the end of the tiebreaker, and that was basically finals difficulty.
Yeah, and we were seeing some insane combos. People were comboing that so well. But now, we're going to have to take a bit of a break. We're going to have to calm down a little bit for about 2 hours. It's going to be the next match. Still 3 in this weekend. Japan versus China in 2 hours, 12:30 UTC. You don't want to miss that one, of course. That is going to determine the opponent for the Philippines next week.
God, I absolutely need that break, and I think everyone here should be thankful for that break, because I am so exhausted from that tiebreaker alone.
Yeah, make sure you all catch a break for yourselves after watching that, but make sure to come back in 2 hours. Until then, we'll see you later.
Anyways, yeah, see ya.